There are so many things that are fucked up. I see people left and right living a life that doesn't fulfill them. Hey guys, welcome to my channel, or welcome to this video. We as people go through so many things and we share so many things, and most of the time we're not, like, people are not aware of how many problems or struggles people have in common. Maybe if I speak my truth, people feel like they could do the same thing, because I feel like so many people are holding in so much. And just in general in society, people just don't talk about things, don't share things, are not authentic in society in general, but some people don't even like reach authenticity within themselves. So I'm talking about everyone else, but I should start talking about my own things. So the last couple of months have been really challenging for me personally. I graduated from high school in June of last year. I thought I had my shit together and I was like so proud of myself, and I had like so many plans and stuff that I wanted to do. Well, I didn't know what was going to come for me. I was going through a very like hard time. I struggled with depression, um, which I think is nothing special in today's world. It's sad, but so many people struggle with it. It's fine to a certain extent. Going back to myself, yeah, I was going through it, and I'm still going through it. But it takes a lot of self reflection, a lot of accepting those feelings even when you feel sad. And I like to go to the bottom of things, because I know that scratching on the surface won't make anything better. So basically I had a plan for my life, and one thing of my plan didn't work out, and then I started to spiral, and I felt like I was losing control over my life, and I had the feeling of like falling into a hole without any ground to stand on. And it's been rough, and you have to go through these things on your own. And I felt hopeless. I felt like my life wasn't like making any sense. I felt like even like in my age, it's such a vulnerable place to be in, being 19 and having graduated high school. And we could talk about the school system, but that would be for another time. It would be so much to say. Being 19 and having to take on the world on your own and make it on your own and figure out what you want to do. And while I was going through this process, I just realized, I'm since forever I've been somebody who thinks a lot. You can call it overthinking, but I just think a lot about like society, and I try to observe society. I try to observe people, strangers, and even people who are close to me. I've always just tried to understand like how society works, how things work, how people act, how people feel. And in this very like vulnerable and challenging time of my life, I was just like, you get to the point and you're like, what the fuck? Like, the world and society, like, there are so many things that are fucked up and messed up, and you realize how these things that are, outside of yourself, have such a great impact on you. Also for me, I come from a rather unstable, background. I'm very thankful for my family and everything, and I'm grateful for what I have and for, all the things that I've learned. But just saying, and everyone, comes with their own package and with their own life experience. But nonetheless, I can't disregard the thought of like how we all go through like the same thing. I can talk about my experience, and I'm only 19, but I feel like even like all the 19-year-olds in the world right now, like nobody can tell me that there's no challenge. And if people um are happy or good and feel like they know what they do and they know what they want, and that's great. I mean, that's amazing. But many people, I would say, from like my observations and my understanding, so many people struggle. And in even like in this specific age, it's like so easy to lose focus, to follow the mainstream. It's so fucking hard. It's so hard to go against the mainstream. I see people left and right living a life that doesn't fulfill them, and it saddens me. And that was also part of my whole like sadness, like my whole state of mind and state of being was like I'm like a rather empathic person, so I just took in the feelings and the state of minds of so many people that were were in pain, were struggling. And it was it's just like hard to take in as a person, like seeing pain left and right, and seeing how most people just like at a certain point they go against themselves, and they let their true self aside, and they put on this mask that the mask symbolizes what they should do in terms of what society expects them, and what feels like the right and safe way for them. But I just I deeply felt like that was not the truth. And I also I see people that are like in their 40s, 30s, 50s, and I just see how dysfunctional they are as human beings. And and if they go on to create a family, how dysfunctional families then become, because of just like society being like very dysfunctional, with the exception of very few, sadly. Coming back to me, the last few months have been really, really rough on me. I was in this phase of like, what do I want to do with my life? Who am I? Where do I want to go? What are my dreams, and what do I really want to go for? It's like, and it's so tempting to compare yourself to people, and to feel like, oh, I'm not good enough. I don't come from the right background. Oh, it's so easy to put yourself in a box and be like, oh, I suppose this is what I should do, based on what you see around yourself and in society, and what you feel like people expect you to do. That's also a great point, a big point always. Deeply I was like, my inner self had like a conflict with the world's reality. I think that's somehow related to feeling depressed and depression, and feeling like you're not who you are, and you're not who you're supposed to be. And that comes with repressing feelings, repressing thoughts, and repressing dreams and who you really want to be. And it's a fucking struggle. It's such a struggle, and I would lie to everyone if I said that it was easy. But that's the point of me, sharing this. I'm here to admit that it's fucking hard, and it's painful, and depression and mental health is something that is very serious. Sadly, very sad. I've been going through it, and I know that so many people are going through it. As you say. But going through it, there's like also, a positive aspect of it, because you're still going. I think it becomes, problematic when you stop going. We as humans also, I think a huge mistake that we do is we isolate. We unconsciously isolate ourselves from society. We distance ourselves from the world, and we think that our state of being is limited to ourselves, and that other people are doing this, and we like to, think that how many people are thriving, and how, you get into that victim mindset. That's just not it. And the whole point I want to make is, we we as humans and in society have so much more in common than things not in common. I know it sounds like, a very typical phrase. I think we like to celebrate and, do the happy things, or the seemingly positive things. We like to do them up front and, openly. But, in society, when it comes to struggle, to mental health, to disease, to pain, people just shut down, build up a fortress around them that is a coping mechanism. I personally, I would love, for people to be more authentic. I know it's hard, because when you're in that state of mind, a state of being, which, I'm the one here talking, but, I'm going through it myself, and I've been going through it myself. I'm, on a journey of healing, of processing, of, becoming the person I would love to be. But still, I can't stress enough how important it is, to be authentic. One of the biggest issues in society is just people will rather, keep things for themselves, and, not even with their loved ones, or the most immediate people in their lives. People just shut down, and, authenticity starts from within and from yourself. And, I feel like people even have problems with themselves. And, that's the whole starting point. And so many people are all just not ready, or not willing to, to go deeper into themselves, and to confront things that have been inside of them, have been tormenting them. That lack of willingness to go deeper into oneself is, I think, what's, holding so many people from healing, and from being, the person, the healthiest, and, the best version of themselves. And, I'm not here to, criticize anyone. I know it's a hard thing, and it's challenging, and maybe it's even, the biggest challenge in life is just to heal, and to confront things, painful things that one holds inside of them. And it's really hard. Some people manage to do it, some people never manage to do it. Based around this is, how, dysfunctional society most of the time is. And it's sad, and it's frustrating, because, when one person is suffering, it activates, a whole chain of reaction of, people being dysfunctional. A great example would be, families that have problems and issues and things that don't work really well. Even from, my own personal point of view and experience, I'm second generation Moroccan, and I just see so many people, families who have migrated, and who build a first generation family in, another country. And I see so many challenges there, and so much, trauma and pain, and things that, the parents haven't really dealt with, and that are affecting their children and society in a negative way. I can't stress enough, the importance of confronting, and of healing, and also therapy. I am all for therapy. I think everyone, even, the happiest people, everyone should go to therapy, because you can always learn and heal. And, there's nothing wrong, there's nothing you can lose while going to therapy. So I can't stress that enough. It's so important. It's so important to, deal with things on your own, but also to allow professional help, and allow, somebody with empathic abilities, but also, the scientific knowledge that and supports the natural empathy. And I think, you know, if you find the right person to talk to, I would, you know, I really, really, really can't stress enough, you know, to go to therapy and to start healing. I think, who am I to say this, but, you know, I would love for people to really, you know, it's the new year. I can't disregard the time period in which I'm recording this video, and I'm also, you know, posting it. So I wish for people in this year in 2023 to really start healing, to be better for themselves and better for their friends and families and better for, you know, society in general. It's so important because otherwise the world is just, if we as a society, if we want to heal, and if, you know, we want a functional society that allows positivity, allows people to develop in a healthy way, you know, everyone needs to do the work. Everyone needs to do the work, and everyone needs to start with themselves, before pinpointing at others. You know, I'm not a scientist. I'm not a psychologist. I'm just sharing my own thoughts, my opinions, my point of views. If you feel like subscribing, if you feel like, you know, commenting, or, you know, whatever, do so. Thank you so much for listening to me. Thank you for, you know, watching this video. Maybe see you in my next video. Goodbye.